Greetings everyone. Today's video I decided to do on how me and my family ended up in Ghana. The reason I'm doing this video because I had requests from people that watched the video that want to hear our story, and that's proper. So I decided to go ahead and bring you what you've been waiting for. So we've been coming to Africa since 2007. We've been coming to Ghana. We have been to many places in the States. We're from the United States. Orange Mound, to be exact. I was raised in Orange Mound. Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, which is one of the famous African establishments. That was one of the first ones, actually the first ones in the United States after slavery and so on. So I'm very proud of where I'm from. I'm very proud of what my ancestors did in the United States, and I don't downplay that at all. I also understand that anyone that's coming to the United States that are reaping the benefits of everything that our ancestors have put in place, to make sure you pay homage to that and not think that you're there on your own or you are there because of something fantastic. Is because of our ancestors. They endured the transatlantic slave trade, that you are able to come and finance yourselves and go back wherever you are, whether you're coming back to the continent or wherever. Please understand, it's because of the transatlantic slave trade, African descendants that are making it where you can ascend, make your ascension to wherever you are wanting to be by using the backs and the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors in the U.S., from inventions to breakthrough technology, to break boundaries and barriers in corporations, and creating businesses and creating empires for the European establishments or whatever. However it was done, it's because of those ancestors. So I just wanted to reiterate that before I get started. Now, my family, we used to want to acquire everything that we thought that it was proper that you want to acquire as a U.S. African living in America. So we basically did what all blacks do in America. We thought we was aspiring to buy a house, so we bought a house. You know, we never worked on jobs, thank God for that. We did own businesses and do community service work in the community and things like that, other sort, to raise ourselves to the next level in life. Soon we found out that it was very highly overrated, and it was not something that really was beneficiary to us, because it always came with catch-22s. Say for instance, when you buy a house, you never really own the house. At any point in time, if you get behind on your mortgage or your taxes after you finish paying for it, they can seize it and take it away from you, and all of that hard-earned money that you have put into those properties or whatever, it can be snatched away. And we didn't like how it felt to be under the throw of white supremacy and the system of things of how it's ran in the United States. Having that mortgage hanging over you every month felt like the devil himself And then if you are behind on a payment or you're late on the payment, you start getting threatening emails and and unwarranted phone calls and threats of all types. And then also you start having strange people or corporations emailing you and telling you that you owe them money for this, for that, for extra taxes or whatever. So one day, the mortgage lender, which turned out to be a crook, and I'll talk about that later, um, found out that they were um, taking black folks' money unwarranted, and they called me one day over the phone and said that they are going to start demanding that I pay an extra $100 on my mortgage for an escrow account. And I'm like, what? Out of the blue, just all of a sudden they want me to send them more money monthly, and we already paying 2 mortgages. With the house that we bought was in South Memphis on South Parkway. It was a beautiful house. It's been lived by black people the whole time. It's built by a black person, and black people lived in it from that time forward. And all of a sudden they called me and told me that I need to provide them with an extra $100. My mortgage was high enough, my insurance was high enough, the regular maintenance and upkeep of that big house was enough and really too much for us that we just decided to say no. I said, no, I'm not sending you any extra money that's not in my contract, and I'm not sending you any extra money. I've never been late on a payment. Okay, go take a break. Never been late on a payment, so it's no reason why I should be demanded to send you an extra $100. So that didn't go well. I think I ended up hanging the phone up in somebody's face or whatever. So I received another phone call shortly after that telling me that if I don't start sending them an extra $100, that they're going to start some type of proceedings against us, and they would get what they want. I told them, you know what, send it to me in writing. And they said no, they want me to send them an extra $100. I said, yeah. They said, you're going to send me this extra $100 or else. And I told them, well, you know what, you won't be getting anything else from me, not a quarter, anything. So by that time, the U.S. fell into a recession, and it affected everybody. And at that time, things were looking really, really ugly for blacks all over America. The value of the houses went so low, and our payments were so high. It was no way that we could get out of that because it stayed down for some time. So my family took that opportunity to get out. So we decided that we wasn't going to pay anything else. We couldn't even afford to. Things were so bad for everyone in America that was black. And it was just too much. So we said we wasn't going to do it anymore. So we stopped, we squatted, and we took that opportunity to leap forward to a different way of thinking and living a debt-free life. We could not take it anymore. So around that time, some other things started to develop around us, where we had a friend of ours applied for a job in Ghana, and he got the job. So this was a very close friend of ours, somebody that we were kicking it with on a regular basis. We were so excited for him. This was really the first time, somebody that we was very close to that knew personally that was going to Ghana and going to Africa, period. So we had heard all of the stories and excited about one day going to Africa and so on and so forth. But we never ever knew anyone personally that was actually doing it. So that happened. Then another good friend of ours ended up paying for himself to go to Africa for his graduation. And so he did. And when he came back, he had a fire up under him so big that it was contagious. And he just rant and raved about Africa, about Ghana, how much he enjoyed it, how it blew his mind that he was going to sell everything, liquidate all his assets, and move straight to Africa, to Ghana. And that's what he did. This brother came back to the States right after his graduation gift to himself, and he had a going away party. Everybody came. We bought everything out of his home. My husband and I, we bought his car. We bought African screen with authentic African screen. It's beautiful. It's in our shop right now in Memphis, Napa by Nature. When you go in, you'll see the screen there. That came from that brother. And we was just so excited for him. It was just contagious. It was really like one of the best situations that we had seen, and we did not want this to go away. It was like the best feeling. We felt like we was going to Africa, and it was like, oh my God, we are actually funding this brother to go to Africa. So after the party, everything, we were so happy, and he was so happy that we supported him. And he was like, whenever y'all want to come to Africa, y'all just come. And he gave us this book. We bought books from him and everything, but this one book in particular, he gave us. We read it straight. We went home and read it straight. And he told us that he had read the same book, and this is what sparked the fire for him. The book was called Going Home Ain't Easy. Going Home Ain't Easy, but it sure is a blessing, by Sister Ima Coos. And I tell you, we read that book, and it was on and popping. By the time those brothers got settled in 2006, by the end of 2006, at the beginning of 2007, or the end of 2007, we were on our way for the first time in Ghana. It happened just that fast, because when we read that book, my husband and I was like, we want to go. We ready to go. And when you start saying you ready to go, you want to go, the pathway just opened up. The ancestors smile on you, and they give you the sense and the wherewithal to know that you can do it. You can just go. Just go. We ready for you to go. We just been waiting. We have been waiting for you to say this. And once you confess this with your mouth and with your tongue, you put it out in the atmosphere that you're ready to go home to Africa, we're going to make it happen. And that's exactly what happened. Boy, I tell you, it was New Year's, and it was on and popping in Ghana. We came to Ghana, and we kissed the ground when we got off the airplane. During this time, when we first came to Ghana, you would get off the airplane, walk down the steps, and you don't go through the regular tunnel thing that we have in the States. You go straight down the steps, and you touch the ground. And we bent down, we kissed the ground, and we just immediately felt like a whole different person. It was life-changing. It was something that changed our lives forever. And I can tell you that first 3 days when we came to Ghana was breathtaking, and it was an emotional experience. It was so emotional. It really touched us in a way that is unexplainable with words. I mean, it's some things that you just cannot explain with words because we're not speaking our native tongue, and it's a lot of words in African that's not translated into English or broken American, which is what I feel like we speak because we don't speak like Englishmen. But the way that it felt, it was such a life-changing experience. It changed us forever, and it's like the best thing that ever happened to us. The first night we got there, it was completely dark. The brother came and got us from the airport. The first song we heard when we were in the car when we left the airport was a Tupac song. And ooh, which song was it? Oh, I can't think of which song it was, but we was like, oh, they bumping some Tupac and Ghana. Oh my God, because it was some Ghanaian brothers that picked us up, like Dollar, and I think it was Bidiako, but it was some Ghanaian brothers. They was so cool. They was just like